You know, Echo, ask Web3 Music Vault to start the party. Let's do it.
This is if we go
There
on
we
this
go.
way.
I just need a reason. I just need to know what's on your mind. Tell me what you're needing. You can call my name, I'll be around. If we go on this way, we'll never make it go. You wait, we'll never make it go. If we go on this way, we'll never make it go. You wait, we'll never make it go. I just need a reason. I just need to know what's on your mind. Tell me what you're needing. You can call my name, I'll be around. If we go on this way, we'll never make it go. You wait, we'll never make it go. If we go on this way, we'll never make it go. You wait, we'll never make it go. I just need a reason. I just need to know what's on your mind. Tell me what you're needing. You can call my name, I'll be around.
Good morning. Good morning.
Echo, stop.
Awesome. Welcome, everybody. I say, let us begin, commence to begin the fun. All right. Oh, welcome, Alan. Welcome, Phoenix. So glad you're here. Raina, as always, love you. Specimen XIII. Okay, I see you, friend. Oh, parkour course creator in Decentraland. That is really cool. If you want to come up and hang out with us and talk story with us, because I've got something to show you today. Okay, so let me get started. I'll read the intro and then we'll introduce ourselves and then we will dive right in. I'm so excited. Morning, Ida. So glad you're here. Welcome everyone to Metaverse Monday, episode 33. We are going to be talking about metaverse gaming. I am not an expert by any means, but I do dabble, so we're so excited to dive in and talk a little bit about it. I am Cece. I am a metaverse event planner, digital artist, world curator, and a one metaverse advocate. My home world is spatial, but I have found my tribe across multiple worlds in this crazy fun metaverse of ours. I'd like to introduce you to my co-host Prism. Prism, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. I've been having just amazing conversations with friends, networking in the metaverse, my spatial gallery, and all the gallery links that people put into my good morning tweet. It's just a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm, as far as my introduction, for those that don't know who I am the artist behind Prism Art. I am the dev behind Web3 Music Vault, which is a way to make Alexa play your NFT music. Currently in beta. No, stop. Okay. and and I'm also I am, let's see, what else do I do? Oh, I'm a community aficionado, a spatial advocate, guide, ambassador. I help you create your galleries. And I guess today I'm now a lighthouser. So yeah, I love Lighthouse. Sponsored, not sponsored by Light. Wait, partially sponsored by Lighthouse. Yeah. So I love Lighthouse because it is a way to be multiverse. So we can jump around, not just on spatial, leave your home and explore outside of your home world. Yeah, that's why I like it. How are you, CC?
I'm in the background furiously tweeting, but I'm doing pretty good, pretty good. Okay, so let us dive into metaverse gaming. I was really taken aback, actually just impressed, how much spatial has sort of improved with the Unity and the way that our creators have really taken the challenge and done some really cool things within spatial. Um, it's been really fun. This past weekend, I was part of a show called Avatar Inferno by NFT Project 76. And that was a really fun game, obstacle course, if you will, that was in development prior to the Unity package release. And so with that, oh, specimen. Okay, I'll prove you 1 second. So it was really cool to see something that was sort of pre-Unity come out and get sort of some play. So that was really cool, and it got me thinking about gaming in the metaverse and what it's all about. So I just wanted to give a brief overview. Metaverse gaming is a virtual world where players can interact, customize avatars, participate in games and events, and create their own experiences for enhanced immersion and social interaction. So, with that definition, you can say World of Warcraft. You can say all of those really cool. Games that are already on the market but not necessarily tied to metaverse would be considered sort of interactive. I really do expect it will grow as a major industry due to the advancements in virtual reality and blockchain technology. I do think that they are connected in some sort of way. I do want to welcome Specimen to the stage. How are you doing today?
Did you say something to me?
Oh, I was just welcoming you to the stage. How are you doing?
All right, yeah, sorry. I'm also in Discord. Me and Jade are in Blender today. He's working on a crazy ass character model. I'm just working on simple like barrels and mugs and such.
So you create parkour in Decentraland, is that correct?
Yes, I have. I've done a few different builds. A couple of them have been used. A couple of them haven't been used, kind of thing. I was doing parkour for a couple different communities within Decentraland, but more recently, I've been working on basically a new nightclub for Decentraland with a D&D like Mad Mage vibe, um, stuff like that.
Well, that sounds pretty cool. Sounds like sort of more traditional games are really popular right now in the metaverse. For instance, I have an environment in Spatial that is a chessboard, and it's really rudimentary. And it's just, GLBs that you unlock and you move and you lock back, but we're still playing sort of a game. And I play with uh, people from across the globe that I never would have met had I not been in the metaverse. So the creating that social experience and connecting with somebody over a game that's, hundreds of years old is really cool. So I know D&D isn't quite 100 years old, but I feel like it's the same vibe. You're connecting over something that we have a lot of nostalgia over. And I think that's why gaming in the metaverse it just is natural. It's a natural progression of what's going on. So thanks for joining us today. If you have any questions or you want to contribute anything to the conversation, feel free to raise your hand and happy to call on you. So the current state of metaverse games. As of 2021, some of the popular metaverse games in the market include, of course, Decentraland, Roblox, Somnium Space, which I haven't explored yet. So I'm interested in diving deeper into Somnium. And then, of course, the Sandbox. These are some of the more popular metaverse games, but not gaming platforms that are available. Because they offer players a range of experiences and opportunities, but by no means are they the only ones. I know Alan is a really great pioneer of exploring new metaverses, new spaces. So maybe he has some new ones that we could talk about. But Prism, do you want to take the next check mark?
Yeah, I was going to say that I think that like there's spatial games too. Like we've seen some. Like I know that we haven't had the Unity packages long enough to really have like full fledged games. Like you were saying, you have to lock the object and you have to unlock it. But I'm also seeing sort of like the prototypes of what games could be in spatial. So that was kind of something we didn't have on the list, but I thought it was kind of interesting. Like you had the chess game, we've seen like the hoverboard. So you can get on a moving platform, but then now like imagine we're going to have that next level of interaction where maybe you have to jump to get a coin or there's something interactive in the space. I know we've seen like scavenger hunts where there's maybe like you have to take pictures of what's in the space and then show it, but imagine that's a little bit more I guess managed through a game system. I think that would be very cool. So yeah, that anyway, those are just thoughts and ideas of my own. Okay, let's go into the next topic. So, metaverse games, they're going to be utilizing all the latest technology. I think we haven't even seen that really happen yet, but such as adding VR, AR, AI, blockchain, and even 5G. So you can actually be like in the middle of a forest or something, and this will create just an immersive and interactive gaming experience with such amazing graphics, 4K graphics, improved player interactions, and secured virtual asset ownership, which I think is the most exciting thing. You can actually own your avatar or your wearables and transfer them across different metaverses. Um, the combination of VR and AR, or I'm sorry, AI rather, creates now these very realistic digital environments. And again, 5G is now offering a low latency and really high speed multiplayer gaming where you can be at like in the middle of a park, or so we can be outside, I guess, is more like we don't have to always be at home on our Wi-Fi. So that's going to be really interesting. I mean, what Pokemon Go did to that initial, like, imagine now that you're in the metaverse on your phone, and yeah, like, wow, I'm just super excited. All right, back to you.
Oh, no, that's perfect. Thank you so much for that. Alan, how are you doing today? Welcome to the stage.
Thank you, thank you. I am well. Thank you so much. How are you doing?
It's a beautiful Monday, and I'm exploring the metaverse. I'm currently in the Avatar Inferno environment, just running around, uh, giving our viewers something to look at on our live stream.
Well, you're a spectacular explorer, and if I can, real quick, I want to shout out Lovely 17 in the room, who I'm hoping later when we do your spatial tour that we can stop by a place that she's been working on. But
Oh, lovely.
I'm also pulling up now to my list of 48 different metaverse type platforms, spaces, however you'd like to call it. Um, if you would like me to share any with you.
Yes, we'll grab those recommendations from you a little bit later. Just wanted to get through this lovely show flow that we have for today. But are there any sort of games that you enjoy playing personally, whether it be in Spatial, Decentraland, Sandbox, that you'd like to share with us?
Well, one I've been playing recently. There's actually two of them inside Decentraland. Uh, One is called Rovi, Rovi, and there's locations spread out, just small little parcels all over Decentraland, and it has to do with these little tiny cute little robots or holograms they call them, and they do make the most adorable noises. Um, I haven't quite figured out the entire purpose of it, um, but it's by MetaZone, and if you look them up, they have a. It's it's kind of impressive. Um, but I had some people from the Rovies. I met them just the other night, and they've delegated me some of those little holograms to try to see if I like it and want to play. And another one is called Wilderness. It's a P2E, play to earn, um, and it's a wizard type game where you cast spells, wear wizard robes, you do some baking and other things. And I've just started that one as well, so I don't know full details on it. But those are two I've been looking into lately.
Very cool, very cool. If you have links and you want to post them to the nest, feel free. Yes, Prism.
Yeah, I was just going to suggest that post them in the nest, and then also everybody in the room just do a quick message on the bottom right. I also have put my Metaverse Monday good morning tweet, which usually if we get enough people in there, Spatial usually retweets it. So definitely drop. I don't mind dropping it every week, every Metaverse Monday, Tuesday. There's no reason to stop putting it on there because they watch that tweet every week. So definitely add your spaces, new spaces onto that. So we have like a collection of all the different links we can jump into, especially if you're also like new spaces that you need help with. Definitely put them in that good morning tweet. There's a whole group of us that jump in together. So anyway, I love the conversation about the games. I would love to see these links too. So if you don't mind putting them up in the nest, that would be awesome as well. And also, just if you have it, let me know if you've played a metaverse game. Put it in the bottom right. Let's keep this interactive. Let's say yes, I played metaverse games, and let's keep it going. Thank you.
Yes, I would love to hear about all the fun games. I have some environments that I'm going to tour after we get through all of this, just to show sort of the progression with Spatial right now. So special, we actually have our very first parkour in Spatial, created by the one and only Blockstone, and I'd love for you to hop in and check it out. It's really simple right now because it's still in development, but I would love to introduce you to them. I think that would be like a fun little time for me. Okay, so we do have some challenges that we wanted to bring up for developers that we're seeing right now. Uh, the developers of metaverse games face a few challenges, which include integration of multiple technologies. So Spatial does this really well, but it is a challenge, and that's why it takes sometimes for updates to go across all of their platforms. VR, AR, and AI, blockchain, and 5G, getting them all to work together and getting that same quality of user experience on PC, on Mac, on VR headset, on your phone, can take a lot of time and effort. And so that is sort of one challenge. But I think Spatial is doing it really well, and will be able to sort of set the standards for other other platforms looking to do something similar. And then providing a seamless and stable user experience, of course, ensuring security and protection of virtual assets and player data. So security breaches happen. We've been having a lot of socially engineered blockchain related security breaches recently. And I'm sure you guys, if you want to know more about that, we had a Bring It Blockchain Solutions Crack the Code episode on security. So go and check that podcast out, or Twitter space, sorry. And then, of course, design and maintaining complex virtual worlds. So I heard a developer, I think it was Jack from Spatial talking, and they said, doesn't matter what you're doing, something's always going to break. You can be the best of the best and something's going to break no matter what, and you're going to have to go and fix it. So you have to be sort of on alert all the time. And as an end user, as somebody not familiar with code, somebody's not really familiar with, the infrastructure as much as maybe Prism might be, that's something that I didn't even think about. I thought, oh, well, once it's done, it's done. Absolutely wrong, Cece. So I have a real new respect for builders and coders and, such as Special here, who creates these environments. Yeah. And then another challenge would be balancing the virtual economy and preventing exploitation or fraud. So, pumping those bags, rug pulls, all of that fun stuff. Yeah. And then, of course, there's always, technical limitations. So one person's laptop might not be as powerful as, say, Lolita, which is my PC. And being able to operate that program, that game, and be inclusive across all different types of tech is probably a challenge as well. Graphics processing power, it seems to be a big topic of conversation as well. So if you have any questions, or maybe you have something that I missed, please feel free to raise your hand or request up. I'd love to hear more. Like I said, I'm not a developer. I'm not like a game designer. So I'd love to hear your opinions. Oh, yes, Alan.
I just wanted to say I posted those up there, but there's also one that's a YouTube video. It doesn't show a preview, so I just wanted to make sure people knew that one was there. To especially take a look at that one. It's created by a gentleman that goes by Art Sabello, I think it is, and it's not currently available, but he's working on it. But it is complete, and it's called Total Washout. It's a parkour like I've never seen before. And I don't know if you can get Lovely 17 up here if she's on her computer or not. But she's done some of Specimen's parkours at a Smush Friends in Decentraland. She
Oh,
used to do them
awesome.
quite regularly. If she's not on her computer though.
All right. Well, lovely. If you'd like to come up and chat with us, please feel free to request up. I'll leave it up to you, my dear. I do want to welcome an amazing developer and a friend of mine, Phoenix. How are you doing today, Phoenix?
I'm doing good today. How are you, Cece?
Oh, I'm just enjoying life. So tell me, what did I miss?
Oh, I mean, you didn't really miss it because, I mean, it covered under, like, technical limitations, but one of the biggest limitations that I have with doing any kind of game design in the metaverse is size limits, especially with the technology that we're using and the visual aesthetics that we're used to as a society, because, like, I think Decentraland has like a 300 megabyte limit. Spatial has a 100 megabyte limit, and the Nintendo 64 back in the 90s, I think the cartridges could hold like just shy of like a little bit over 500 megabytes, which is like twice what we're dealing with our size limits. But we are using graphics that are much better than what the Nintendo 64 was capable of in the 90s. So we need essentially better limits, which understandably, there's all kinds of things that go into why those file size limits exist, in order to make it sustainable for businesses to even give us these platforms. But for us to really start developing games that are comparable to what is on the market, we would have to reduce the graphics so low poly that it's even going to look like budget for the Nintendo 64, just as a comparison. Um, but yeah, that's the biggest limitations right now. I mean, thankfully, like spatial is already up theirs once before, so I'm sure limits will be increased in the future. But it's hard. It's hard to really build anything too impressive without being forced to use low poly, because it's going to be really difficult to appeal to people who are used to playing AAA games that have 4K graphics all the time. So that's like the biggest limitation that I see at the moment, for at least for me.
Thank you so much. And please feel free to stay up and comment, because I know you are a wealth of knowledge. And I'd love to have you on my speaker panel. Prism.
Yeah, I was just going to add to what Phoenix was saying. I think adding the file size limits, but also the number of participants at the same time. Like how one of the challenges we had just with the game show, that it was challenging to follow it. So as an observer, or so I think if you think about a video game where you have multiple drivers going on different paths, or even the same path, but they're at different points in the path, and you wanted to see them all at the same time, it was challenging to follow what's going on, and that as an observer, as a participant, it wasn't terrible. I mean, that wasn't that hard because you're doing your own thing, um, and just really knowing where, when you finished. I think there's going to be some really cool stuff coming there. So spatial specifically, I think it has some work to help us observe games, which is different than maybe just um, a AAA game where you're just playing it and you're watching it maybe do a split screen, and that's pretty simple. But here you have participants at so many different camera angles. It can be very interesting how to do that. So yeah, there's I think yet another challenge with how observing works in the metaverse.
I completely agree. Getting somebody to watch a whole, event, and like you said, there's different perspectives and different camera angles, and being able to capture all of that is really difficult. And there's no one singular answer. I think it's going to take, we need more knowledge of production. We need more knowledge of how traditional game shows are filmed, and be able to utilize some of those tools as well, for specifically Avatar Inferno. So definitely some kinks to work out for sure. Do you want to take the next topic, example of a popular metaverse games, crypto voxels?
Sorry, I'm assuming you pointed out to me, but that's okay. I got you. Yeah, so crypto voxels, it uses the blockchain technology to allow players to buy, sell, and build virtual land with cryptocurrency, Vox, VOX. V is in Victor. Um, the game provides an immersive and engaging virtual world experience, and has gained popularity among the players seeking a decentralized and customizable gaming experience. I personally haven't played it, but if anybody has played it, feel free to raise your hand. This is very interactive. Or if you're listening, let us know in the bottom right.
Yeah, so my experience with voxels was really, really good. It is a platform that is, I think Phoenix said it, very low poly, very easily accessible from all types of devices. Doesn't matter the age of well, it does matter, but you don't need a really powerful piece of equipment in order to play in crypto voxels. And so a lot of communities that don't have strong internet access or don't have access to high quality devices use crypto voxels as sort of their platform, because they can get on it. Even spatial sometimes can be a challenge for certain communities to gain access to. And that was something I think that Spatial takes seriously and is trying to alleviate or to correct. But Voxels is a really great place. I went to some concerts there. I've explored some worlds, and it's really fun and a very, gamified vibes. So it's definitely a world to explore, and it is really easy to access.
Did you win anything? What'd you win?
If you go onto some of these, into some of these parcels, into some of these worlds, you connect with your wallet, and so the owners of the world, you can sign guest books, or just by being on their parcel for a certain amount of time, you get airdropped certain assets that you can use and wear, which is really cool. I got a couple of wearables. I think I got like a cool sword, and I got this cute little worm for Christmas. So yeah, it's very similar to Decentraland in a way, because it is connected to your wallet, that parcel owners or landowners can gift you things just for hanging out at their spot.
So there's an incentive to just hang out, and you're getting rewards just for hanging out. That's pretty cool. I like that.
Oh yeah, it's all about that in-world marketplace. I mean, if we're going to talk about gaming, we should probably, I mean, we could do a whole episode on in-world marketplaces and where that's going. So let's just gloss over it for now. In-world marketplaces, super awesome. So evolution of technology for metaverse gaming. So metaverse gaming technology has evolved with the VR headset. So it used to be really clunky, attached to, a cord, attached to, your computer, and now it's wireless, and now it's even getting more streamlined. If you've got the money for it, you can get it. So the headset displays are definitely improving to give you more of an immersive experience. And cloud gaming is allowing wider device compatibility, which I think is a real breakthrough, and is going to be the key to getting us all into the experience together. And decentralization, of course, blockchain for secure virtual environments with player control over their assets. So there you go, the blockchain again, rearing its head in this world that we love so much. So, any questions about that? Anything to add, Phoenix?
Sorry, I walked away for a second. I caught part of what you said. We were talking about blockchain with gaming.
Yeah, I was just kind of giving an overview of the evolution of technology, how the VR headsets are getting sleeker and more immersive because the displays are being improved. Cloud gaming is allowing, more device compatibility. And then, of course, decentralization for more secure environments, and, of course, player control over their assets. Because I think one of the biggest disconnects between games like, is it World of Warcraft that you guys play? Or no, that's old. It was another one that you and DDK and all the cats play. I don't remember. What is Bry's favorite one?
I think Fortnite is what VDK plays.
Fortnite, yeah. Whereas in Fortnite, you can't take those assets with you outside of Fortnite. You know what I mean? So I think that's one of the biggest sort of disconnects. Whereas with Ready Player Me or with other, it's in your wallet. You own it. It's yours forever. Hopefully we can get interoperability, and then all of those assets that are good in Decentraland, good in Crypto Voxels, good in Monaverse and Spatial, you can start cross-platform wearing them or utilizing them. That's like, I think that's the ultimate goal. And then I don't think, gaming platforms like Fortnite or World of Warcraft are really looking at that as an option, but I think they should, because being able to wear my super cool like auras from Decentraland in Spatial. I know it's not like gaming related, but being able to have that cross-platform compatibility is, that would be tops. So, future growth of the gaming industry in the metaverse, I think it's poised for rapid growth. I really think, I've already seen so much It's driven by increased adoption of VR, AR, and of course, that lovely 5G, and the popularity of online gaming and esports. With this pandemic driven shift towards virtual experiences, technology advancements will result in more immersive and interactive gaming experiences, appealing to casual and hardcore gamers. Like, I am not like a hardcore gamer at all. But I am really enjoying these new environments in spatial. And I love doing parkour in Decentraland. It's so cheesy. I love it. And my poor little fingers are getting broken because trying to jump and do all that stuff. I find myself spending more time in the metaverse now that there are coins to collect and little games to play. So, oh, Phoenix, yes.
Yeah. All right. So I'm caught up now. Yeah. So technology as a whole, traditionally, it essentially doubles in its power of what's capable. Like every so many years, I can't remember the exact ratio, but now we are actually reaching a zenith of technical capabilities where we're kind of just plateauing. We're not able to come up with newer and better technologies as fast. And because of that, we're seeing more creativity and ingenuity at the application of these technologies. Because if you can't upgrade something better, you figure out a better way to use it. If you look at like video game consoles in the past, like they were almost always based off of their technical limitations. Like when the new console comes out, it's because it has better memory, better soundboard, better graphics. Then we see some advancements in things other than just the pure technical capabilities, like when we start getting into online play and being able to use like cloud services and have games, stored on the cloud instead of on the hard drive and so forth. You get into like Steam having like family game sharing, all different kinds of advancements in that way. But for the most part, it's still like it's always about what is the new technical capability. And we've hit a point where that's not the point of the discussion anymore. You were bringing up like some of the more established game companies and whether they would get into Web3 or not. And Square Enix has been working on implementing blockchain with their games for at least the past year. And even with everything with the market and it being mostly a not well received move by their typical fans, they're still moving fully forward with it. So there are some game companies that are fully embracing this and looking to adapt rather than looking at the newer game companies that are starting with this technology.
That is really cool. Very interesting. I'd love to hear more about that for sure. And it kind of takes me to my next topic, which is, the impact on gaming industry and society. So as you're sort of indicating that metaverse gaming is revolutionizing the gaming industry in a way, and also the way people are interacting with games. It brings a whole new level of realism, engagement, social interaction, which of course we all crave, I think. And it's also creating new jobs and whole new economies. I mean, I am a metaverse event planner. Like, who would have thought? It's just crazy. And that's just one application. Yeah, I think we're shaping the virtual world in our everyday life. And I think it's really cool that gaming is sort of helping us do that. I mean, Second Life was sort of like the first metaverse, and then games became multiplayer games, and then you could play games, across it went online, and then people from around the world could all play the same game together. I think it's just an evolution, and I think you sort of touched on that, Phoenix. So thank you for that. And there are a lot of opportunities and a lot of challenges ahead of us, including growth potential that you touched on, the impact on social interaction and commerce, as well as technology advancement. And you're saying maybe the technology is sort of stalling out, but that means we're going to start building in how we use that tech. So I think that's a really cool tie-in. I appreciate your insights on that, Phoenix. So yeah, I think we Can open the floor to questions from anybody, or if anybody has anything they want to add to the conversation, we are totally here for it. Don't want to take up too much time. Very interested in checking out some of these environments. And yes, my friend Prism.
Yeah, I was gonna throw a question into the room, which is one of the questions I received about digital collectibles, digital assets, or NFTs, and their relationship in gaming. So, like, if I was to create a game and I was to use a digital asset in the game, what is the studio, or the, like, if I was going to create a studio, and what is the incentive uh, to the um, to the studio to create an asset that could be taken and moved to a different game? I just, I've been posed that question. I know that I kind of know what I would think about it, but I was just curious if anybody had a question or like a thought about this, and in their experience with games, and especially the ones that have NFTs associated with them.
I'm going to toss that over to Phoenix. You have a response to that?
Yeah, so we've already seen some assets travel between games already, but they're still within the same company or still same line of games. I think it was like Mass Effect. Your character and everything could transfer from the first game to the second one. You didn't have to like start over completely with progression, but it still gave you the option to. I know some other people have worked like before blockchain and NFTs were big, at that same idea. And then we've also seen assets being tradable. And like if you look at Steam games like Counter Strike, Team Fortress, like you can play Team Fortress and get an item like one of their hats and sell it on their marketplace to someone else, and then use that credit to buy another game on the platform. You could buy another item to use in another game, or you could also buy items like emojis and banners for your profile and such. But it's still kind of, it makes sense because Steam is the platform that these games are on, so they get royalties and such from it. So they're still monetizing off of it completely. We're kind of in a weird spot with blockchain at the moment because while royalties are a thing, they're not hard coded in smart contracts yet. There are some proposals to fix that, but everything that I have seen would have to require overloading some of the most basic functions of smart contracts in terms of how payments are done. So that's, I feel like we're not there yet. When we
So that Ashley posted this, or actually Ashley retweeted Ashley's post that I think she got hacked. We were just talking about it today with Creative Owls and how important it is to protect your assets. But I think Ashley got hacked, and they're going to hold a Twitter space tomorrow for, like, she lost all her crypto. So just wanted to highlight that so we can maybe support her in any way.
Are you talking about Ash the
Yes,
architect?
Ashley, the architect.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. I'm so sorry. That is heartbreaking. I hope she's okay. Prism.
Yeah, and well, I don't like any of these hacks, but I think we just have to be really careful. Um, keep each other safe. Make sure you're asking for help if you're not sure about something. Um, and I I don't like talking about it too much in the space, but I do have like my wallet hygiene hashtag. Use the wallet hygiene hashtag if you have like a help, like a suggestion. Um, and I do like a whole series. I think I scheduled it in Metricool, like at 10 a.m. my time. So take a look at those. Like I try to give tips every day because I think you have to do this every day. Otherwise, it will happen to you. It happened to me. Probably will happen. It's just a matter of time that you'll have something that's not legit happen to you in this space, and it's just good to be like cognizant that that might happen. So just try to protect yourself as much as possible.
And Ira, if there is a link or a tweet about the Twitter space, feel free to put it in the nest so we can all set our reminders and support our friend, our community member. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Phoenix.
Yeah, I apologize, but we actually have a concert with the Dope CeeLo Music Club like right now in one of our environments, so I need to drop out. But I did used to work in game design and was a game tester at one point. So if you want to touch on this topic again in the future, I would love to join. Just let me know.
Oh, I love that, Phoenix. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, we all need to hop in and party at the Dark Star. So, Phoenix, if you have a link, pop it in the nest because when we wrap up here, we're going to go dance our little legs off. So, let's do it.
All right, I'll put it up there just a second. Thanks.
Now that I've been reminded that there is a party about to go on, let's wrap this bad boy up. So, so let's do a safety round with our friends and our on stage. And then if you have any environments that you'd like to pop in the nest so we can, or actually put it in the bubble down below so we can explore. I'm going to put a few environments that are game related from spatial in the bubble at the bottom right. Do the same, even if it's not spatial. We want Decentraland, we want voxels, we want Sandbox. We want to go visit it all. But I will do a safety round. We will start with our friend Specimen XIII. I'm going to shoot you a follow. Do you have any last minute things you want to share? Any thoughts that you might be interested in sharing with us before we go? Oops, I caught him off guard. And then Phoenix, I know you're probably heading out, but if you have anything you want to share, put your hand up. And then we'll head over to Alan. Any last minute thoughts for the safety round?
I threw in the MetaTrekkers empty gallery. As you know, I have a weekly Twitter space on Tuesdays. Um, it's not complete, it's not live, but we can get a sneak peek if you have time.
That is amazing. Yes, we want to check that out. Ira, any last rounds for today?
I just wanted to say thank you, Cece, for holding the space constantly, and thank you, Prism, for huge support in anything that I need. Personally, you've been amazing, and just thank you, everybody here, for being here. Thank you.
We love Ira X Lab. If you are not following her, please do. She has some amazing environments about getting ready to drop, and they will be jaw dropping. I know for a fact. I've seen her work, and she's only going to the moon. So, yeah, love Ira. I will hand the mic over to Prism for his final thoughts, and then we will wrap this bad boy up and then go hang out with the Dope Stilo Music Club.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for everybody for coming out today and showing support. Really appreciate you. Yeah, it was a lot of fun this weekend. We had on my YouTube channel, I've been recording the game show. So it wasn't the best production, like what I can do, but I'm definitely working on my videography skills. And also, I encourage all of you to start learning how to use all the filming tools inside Spatial, which maybe I'll do a YouTube video on just how to do that, because I want to see a lot more YouTube content. I think we have to share it out there for all. And also, I think the other thing is I just did a YouTube video on all the cool features that Spatial is doing. So you definitely want to check that out. I will put that in the Metaverse Monday tweet later today, the Good Morning tweet. If you have a spatial space, make sure that you do drop it in that Good Morning. There's a group of 10 folks that look at, we do explore. We may not do it right away, but we will do it. And we usually take a selfie now that we can do it on mobile. So have a great rest of your week, and thanks for starting with us.
Thank you so much for joining us for Metaverse Monday. This was episode 33, focusing on metaverse gaming with my wonderful co-host, Prism. And then we had Phoenix as our panel member. We had a beautiful panel member, Specimen X. Alan joined us today, and then Ira rounded it out with her strong vibes. So thank you so much for joining us. Like and follow everyone, because a rising tide raises all boats. I love you all, and we'll see you next week.